Good morning, rather good afternoon from Lake Placid, New York in the Adirondacks. I went straight to a coffee shop this morning rather than going on a walk. Did some urban camping last night and didn't get my walk in, but I went to a coffee shop and wrote my Sunday blog post and email. And I wanted to talk about one of the moments from that because it ended up becoming more, what am I trying to say? Becoming more than I would have expected. If you read my blog post, I will just, you don't have to, I'll just re-explain it. But one of the decisions that I made yesterday when I got to Lake Placid, which was supposed to just be a quick stop, maybe grab some water, do a quick walk, and then continue to the campsite that I was going to further west. But when I got here, it was like 5 p.m., time for dinner, and I had already been driving for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it was. And I looked on iOverlander and I was like, oh, there are a couple good camp spots around town here. And I was looking on Google Maps and saw a nice coffee shop in town. And I was like, ooh, that might be fun for tomorrow morning's writing, this morning's writing my blog post. And so rather than continue on, I was like, screw it, let's just, stay here. And so that's what I did. And I was just reflecting on that decision. And I remembered that one of the things that I had written down as one of the things that I enjoy a lot, and even going back further, one of the visions that I had and dreamed of this even goes back to when I was in San Francisco and, renting a car on the weekend and going out to up north to the forest, to Lake Tahoe, down south to Big Sur. All of those weekends, I was just thinking about how, it'd be so nice to be able to sleep in your car or have a van, be able to stop anywhere you want, to not be held or restricted to I have to put in another hour and a half tonight, even though it's late, even though I'm tired, because I already booked the hotel or the Airbnb or whatever it is, and I can't just not go, And I dreamed of being able to just stop anywhere. I mean, within reason, but I just, I'm not feeling putting another 90 minutes behind the wheel, and it's, 9 p.m. and I'm really tired. Let's just stop now. And I dreamed of having that freedom. And what I realized was I was exercising that freedom yesterday. And just remembering that was it. I don't know what the emotion or the word is to describe this, but it's not nostalgic. And it's not exactly fulfilling. It's the feeling of remembering a memory. It's akin to gratitude. It's something like that. But it's a good feeling. And it reminded me of why I like to document my thoughts, my ideas, why I take pictures, why I write these blog posts, is to give my future self a lens into the past, into the present right now, to have that access to, this is what I was thinking about, and this is what I was dreaming of, and this is what I was struggling with. And I'm giving my future self that access to be able to shift his perspective and relive those memories. So yeah, felt good. And it reminded me of, I debated on whether I wanted to try to share this or not, but because I know I'm going to get it wrong, but there was some quote that I heard, and now I forget it. I'll let you look at the view. I totally forgot it. Oh, that's cool. There are little platforms out there. Fishing. My, what am I trying to say? I love struggling on camera, you know? My past perfectionist self is just cringing right now. I was going to try to end this by saying, like, you know, if wherever you are in your life, I'm sure your past self, I don't know if I can make this generalization. I don't know. But what I was going to say is, like, I'm sure where you are in the present, like, your past self would be envious of, or would, like, you know, oh, to think, you know, my future self has a house, has, you know, kids, or has this kind of car, or is living, you know, this kind of life, or has this kind of job. Like, they're dreaming of what you have. And just thinking about that is a big perspective shift for me. The quote that I hope to impart on you, the quote that I forgot that I now remembered was, and I'm gonna get this wrong, but it's like, you've already achieved goals that you said would make you happy. And now this quote is going a little bit in a different direction, but to bring it back to this, what I'm talking about, it's like, remember the goals and the visions and the things that you struggled about, like, with previously, and that you no longer struggle with or have achieved, or the journey that you've taken now, and just think about, like, what your past self would think about. To, like, for me, to think that my future self, me right now, is standing here in the middle of New York, Lake Placid. Well, this is Mirror Lake, but Lake Placid, living out of my van, working remotely from Starlink, and having the freedom and flexibility to just stop anywhere and camp anywhere in quotes, as in there are more places and more options to camp. Like, he wouldn't believe it, you know? And I think that perspective is really powerful, and that's what I hoped to share with you today. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow.